Hey all, Daniel Agapito here for the Moshville Times, and today I have the honor of being here with Giulio and Stefano of Bedsore, which is this incredible prog rock death metal band out of Rome in Italy. So yeah, guys, how are y'all?
Fine, man.
So Bedsore will be releasing their second album through 20 bucks spin at the end of this month, and I prepared some questions here for them, talking about the album, talking about their career, and that's what we're gonna get onto.
Okay, that's fine. Here we go.
So to start off here, your sound is quite unique, blending 70s prog rock with some pretty strong death metal. How exactly did you guys reach this mixture, this blend?
Um, just consider that we are big fan of progressive rock, especially in Italy. We got a really cool heritage, about progressive rock, Italian progressive rock band, just like Area and Balletto di Bronzo, PFM. So it's something that we have in our blood in a way. So it was pretty easy to find the right way to mix them. Of course, we are big fan of classic death metal, especially the European side of the Swedish death. I mean, so it was part of path we started in 2018. So I mean, we are talking about something like 6 years from now. So sometimes has passed. But we reached this kind of maturity just in the last years, and it was something that was developing more and more during the time, of course. So definitely it depends also from our studies and of course, I mean, experiences in music business, in music life. So that's probably the best answer I can give you about the how we reach the uh, this kind of mixture. I mean,
And from what I could gather, especially in the first album, another very big influence for you guys was like horror movies and horror literature. How does that come into the equation?
and yeah, of course, we are big fan of horror movies, just like Argento's one, Fulci, or Mario Bava, and yeah, it was in a way part of the uh, death metal culture, if you know what I mean. So it was something really natural to be inspired by that kind of movies, of course, definitely.
And since you brought up this maturity you guys reached pretty recently, how would you say you guys have evolved? Not necessarily just musically, but like personally, mentality-wise, from hypnagogic hallucinations up to the new album.
Um, yeah, basically, have we had many experience from HH Hypnagogic Hallucinations and the new album, and also related to the split that we published in 2022 with Mortal Incarnation from Japan. Uh, that was a turning point because all the influences and experiences gathered in the previous 2 years that were difficult years in a way because uh, there was pandemic and we had to stop doing live and we had many things to think about. Um, this brought us to develop a new style and to uh, make it evolve in a different way, uh, maybe more mature, more unique than the previous one with Hypnagogic. So we had some roots from Hypnagogic, but a new beginning, let's say, this way. And yeah, basically we all were younger before. Years have passed. We made experience also in private life. Some of us got new jobs, new opportunities, and maybe even a new way to think about music. So all this list that I've made, basically, maybe Stefano can confirm or add something, contributed to make this new album.
Yeah, absolutely. I confirm what Giulio said. And especially the main difference we feel with between the new album and Hypnagogic Hallucination is that probably we had the possibility to explore a different kind of experience in dream. I mean, talking about the main theme about the two albums. So if you consider that maybe Hypnagogic Hallucination, it's more horrific and death metal oriented, so more dreadful. Instead of Dreaming the Strive for Love, the new album is something completely different, but exploring the same way the onirical dimension, so the everything that happened when you are dreaming, so the mental processes and the oniric vision you have. Of course, we can talk about the album more deeply later.
So, from what I've been able to gather, this new album is inspired by the Renaissance book Hypernotomachia Polyphy, which loosely translates to the title of the album, Dreaming the Strife for Love. How did you guys end up incorporating the concepts of the book into the album?
Yeah, I was about to say this. We got inspired by Timo Ketola. We got in touch with him during the years of Hypnagogic Hallucination for releasing the cover art and the layouts of the previous album. So basically, what we had with him was sort of intense conversations about books and manuscript and so on. And in one of these occasions, we had we basically discovered this amazing book from 1499. So it was something incredibly distant from our way to conceive the world in a way, but at the same time it's pretty similar. You can find some comparison that still are vivid. So basically, Hypnerotomachia Polyphily is difficult to pronunciate even for me that I'm Italian. Hypnerotomachia Polyphily, it's the story of Polyphilo, that is the main characters, of course, and it's something that has to do with the strive for reaching your love, but the main point is that this battle, that is a physical yet inner battle, is something that happened during a dream. So Polyphilo starts to dream into a dream, so a sort of Inception is the first reference I can get now. Yeah, he starts to dream into a dream, and by this consequence, he starts to having strange vision. Not strange in a way that is horrific, as I was saying before. It's more like its own inspiring by the majestic of this vision. Just like he entered in this distant and lonely place with anything else but just a pyramid with a bell tower. It's a sort of oniric and evanescent vision that probably can happen just in dreams, and everything start to develop more and more from this first vision. And of course, it's really related with musical themes, even because Polyphilo start to dream after listening a sort of melody coming from a flute or something like that. So it, it's a sort of book that it has really different kind of possibility to connect different topics regarding music, of course. I mean, so it was pretty natural to find a way to compose something like that was really close to the narration. So not just the musical aspect, but what happened to the main character, Polyphilus, what I was saying.
So it's basically like a concept album retelling the story of the book, right? Like in music form.
Yeah, in a way, but it tells more because it's even a sort of reinterpretation of the same themes of love, the quest for love and achievement, but in a more modern way. Yeah, I think it will be correct to say that. It's more like you can put into the political story your personal story, and I mean love and the battle for it. It's something that everyone can understand and everyone can project into himself itself.
This thematic of like dreams and the things related to it is something you guys have explored a lot between the two albums, right? Something that's like very worked on by you guys.
Yeah, definitely. As I was saying before, with hypnagogic hallucination, we had the possibility to explore something more creepy and eerie, but yeah, we are pretty much into the the dreaming stuff. Yeah, it's something like having um, how can I say that? It's a sort of never-ending source of inspiration because dreams are completely different from a moment to another. So uh, you can really have a tons of inspiration. And we personally had even experience like hypnagogic hallucination. So um, regarding that, it was not a good experience at all. But yeah, we learn everything from life. So we definitely try to, and we probably managed to have a good way to learn from that.
Yeah, I was reading an interview with you guys, don't remember with what website, and one of you said that you had like a bunch of death-like experiences in the band, and that was really one of the things that like brought HH closer to you guys thematically. I remember some of you mentioned something around that.
Yeah, definitely. Not the two of us, but one member is not present today. But even I, in my personal experience, had something like not very strong, but I had some hypnagogic hallucination at time.
So, keeping on a similar line, on your Metal Archives page, it says that the name Bedsore encapsulates not only a medical condition, but also a metaphorical descent into the obscure aspects of the human experience. It reminds us that what promises comfort can paradoxically become a source of deeper torment. Could you guys talk a little bit more about the deeper meanings of the name?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
Giulio, if you want to.
okay. Yeah. Basically, the this name, this moniker, is very well fitting for the band because on the one side it pays tribute to the old school death metal heritage, so like Carcass, Autopsy, and this kind of stuff. But at the same time, we wanted to give it a more personal touch. On the one hand, that's um, physical constraint, so an illness, something like a wound, something um, even creepy and related to the imaginary of classical death metal. On the other side, there's something a little bit more psychological that regards the inner side of every one of us. And this mix of two sides, it's fascinating, and it's the reason why we chose this name and this moniker, and we would like to keep it despite maybe the music is not so death metal anymore, as someone said, and something like that.
And keeping with this thing of names, you guys described your sound as kaleidoscopic death metal. What exactly is that?
Yeah, kaleidoscopic, in a way, can be translated in something that changes suddenly and without any previous awareness about that. So it's a sort of metaphor, say, it's a death metal that cannot stay into boundaries, and it's a sort of flowing, evolving kind of metal. And it's even difficult for us to find a good way to define what we are doing actually. But yeah, I think kaleidoscopic, it's a sort of word that can describe this ever-changing reality. That it's, in fact, what happened even in dreams. It's not easy to have the same frame or the same image in your dreams that can stand for all the dream. But everything changes, just like in transactions or fading in and fading out of images. So it's a sort of ever-changing situation. That's why we choose that word, probably.
And with this shifting characteristics of your sound, do you ever worry that like those people that listen only to metal are gonna have a little bit of an aversion to you guys, or is that something that you guys make your music for yourselves and that's it?
Yeah, we definitely make music for ourselves, but it's important to have a solid fan base and to try to communicate what you want to do with your music. So I am basically, and the guys too are basically happy to play what they are playing just for the sake of it. So having the possibility to express yourself without any kind of boundaries, as I was saying. But at the same time, for us, it's important to communicate to the people. So it's definitely important to have a sort of solid fan base that can understand what we are trying to communicate. It's not an easy message. That's the point, and we know that. But at the same time, we are aware that we can try to push the thing and try to let this message going through.
And in an interview with Jacopo, I think in the release cycle of HH, he said that Bedsore, different from Seventh, which was the project you guys were in at the time, it was basically supposed to be like this melting pot of influences where all the different tastes you guys had mixed and created this very different sound. How is it like managing the different influences each of the guys have in the band?
You mean in Bedsore?
Yes, yes, in Bedsore.
Yeah, the point is that we try not to exclude anything. So we just take for granted every idea is great and can work. Of course, many of this depends on the situation you are trying to describe with your music. That's the point. Music can stand alone, but it's always important to find something that can be served by music. In this case, for Dreaming the Strife for Love is the story of Polifilo, but you can find many examples. So what I am trying to say is that music is always serving something, and it can stand alone, of course, but it's important that. So coming back to your question, we don't try to exclude ideas regardless the situation. We just try to examine everything and trying to understand what's beneath the surface of that kind of musical idea.
So the writing process, the composition process, is all very collaborative with you guys, right?
Yeah, definitely.
There are some drafts, roots, maybe riffs, and something, some sketches, and then we work all together, maybe starting from the guitars or from the keys, lately from the keys usually, and we arrange everyone its own part with discussing together. So about your even your previous question, we don't really need to make a deal to mix and to blend the influences of everyone. We just see how it works, and we always find a balance between all our influences, and it's not a difficult process. I mean, yes, it's difficult, but it's not something that bring some of us to make compromises. Everyone is able to express himself in the best way, and that's the, for example, one feature that I never found in my previous bands, for example, and previous lineups with other projects. And this is great because, of course, everyone work is valuable and is even more effective.
And is there anything more generally that you guys would like to talk about with Dreaming the Strife for Love? Anything you guys would like to mention? Because it's a very deep album, very complex album, so it's pretty hard to make questions that are more directed. So I just want to throw the ball to you guys. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you guys want to mention for our audience?
Yeah, probably what we can say about Dreaming the Strife for Love is a sort of effort for Bedsore, in the sense that we try to push our limits to something that we never bring on in studio and consequently on stage. And the fact that we implement the sound with so much keyboards and layerings was something that was an art choice, but we are pretty sure that it will worth it. And it won't be an easy listening album. We are pretty cautious about that. We are aware of that. And we hope that people can understand what we actually wanted to communicate with that. Sorry if I may repeating me, but it's pretty complex, as you say, to try to explore the situation without talking about the actual music and without listening it. So maybe the best suggestion we can give to the audience is just listen the album and trying to wait that the album can be understand.
Yeah, I'm not traditionally much of a prog fan, but every time I've listened to this album, every new listen, I just discover some new stuff and it gets deeper and deeper and there's more and more layers. It's just something so like deep, so dense, so much stuff going on, and it's really not easy to listen, but it's incredible. It's definitely worth it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your words. It's really appreciated. Yeah, the point is that after many listenings, you can probably find more and more. That's the point, and it was pretty difficult even for us to compose something that was so layered, as you said. I don't know if Giulio want to add something about that.
Not specifically. I mean, you covered pretty much everything, and yeah, it was a challenging effort, but at the same time, very exciting because yeah, we even during the long process of recording and the making of this album, basically we always I mean at least I speak for myself. Initially, I mean it grew inside us during the process. So we basically on every step we realized that it was really what we wanted to do. Even if at the beginning we had maybe few ideas or no idea of where we were going on. And yes, I think Stefano covered every other aspect.
Yeah, maybe just one more aspect, if you want a little insights about the album, is that you could find it very Italian in a way, because of course the book is from Italy. The main influences can be related to prog rock stuff, but even the places that was inspiring to us, it's placed from the Italian peninsula, even from Rome, of course, and I mean we had so much influences around us that wasn't impossible to not to explore all this world of influences and trying to translate them into music. So what I wanted to say is that it's important for us to underline that this album is pretty much Italian, and of course it has a sort of magic inside of it.
Yeah, for sure. And Stefano, I think it was you that mentioned bringing this sound to the stage. How
Yep.
would you describe like the live experience of Bedsore? How do you guys get this very complex things that you have in the studio and transmit them live on stage?
Yeah, it was, and it will be even more in the future, something like demanding, definitely demanding. The point is that we are trying to have the same attitude and approach for a studio recording and live situations. So we are trying to play all the instruments that are on the studio tracking, and in live, so without use of sequences or strategic elements, just like loops and stuff like that. So it will become something really different, really difficult, sorry, but especially for what concern the different kind of timbres that are tones that are inside the album. If you get so much attention at the album, you can listen to mellotrons, organs, and different kind of guitars, 12-string guitars, classical guitars, and fretless bass. So we have a very a very rich palette of sounds that we are trying to bring on stage as well as we did in the studio version. So it will be a challenge even to organize everything on a stage that is frequently small. I know you can understand. So bring all this stuff will be a space challenge, but definitely even a challenge for control everything on live side. So good luck to us.
And yeah, what's next for the future? What can we expect from Bedsore going forward?
Yeah, we at the moment have a European tour confirmed with the Fulci band. You may know them. We are even fellows in the 20 Backspin family, so we share the same label. And yeah, we will have this European run from the 7th to the 17th February, so something like 10 days, but it will be pretty hardcore. And probably we will bring on stage, as I was saying before, new setup, and probably we will share some new members for having the possibility to bring all the tones. So it will be a challenge, definitely. And of course, we are trying to promote in the best way the album right now. And yeah, hope everything will work and that people will enjoy the music, basically.
Yeah, from me, that's it. If you guys have any final message, any final words to share with the Moshville audience, feel free.
I don't know if Giulio wants to add something about that, but for me, just we really had a good feedback from fans from from the release of the first single, and we are pretty happy about that, and we are truly happy actually. And we didn't expect that because, as I was saying, the album is pretty difficult to incorporate. So we didn't expect so much warmness from the people, from the fans, and
Yeah.
we hope that we definitely had touched the hearts of the peoples about that. Giulio?
Yes, we were a bit doubtful about the response to the first singles, but it's been great until now, and we are very happy and satisfied about that, and even a bit surprised because it was not we didn't give it for granted, and I think yeah, thanks for having us here today, and I think we covered everything.
Yeah, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Daniel. These have been Giulio and Stefano from Bedsore. They will be releasing Dreaming for the Strife of Love out through 20 Bucks Spin on the 25th, if I'm not mistaken.
29.
29th. 29th.
Yeah.
It is an absolutely incredible record. Easily one of my records of the year, and I am far from a prog fan. So yeah, go listen to it when it's out. By the time this interview is up, my review should also be up. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Just much to you for the opportunity. Thank you.